thousands upon thousands of irritating buffoons with nothing better to do took to the streets over the weekend to march for science. Many of these pro-science marchers are people who believe that if a man puts on a dress and gets breast implants, he magically becomes a woman, and that it's perfectly fine to kill an unborn baby until a blue fairy sprinkles it with sparkly light and turns it into a real boy. Maybe that's Pinocchio. It's all very confusing. So, if the people marching for science are so incredibly irrational and idiotic and unattractive and loud and irrational and unattractive, then what is this science they're marching for, and why are they all so stupid? I think I can explain. You see, these people aren't marching for science, they're marching for science. Science is a technique for understanding the material world through observation and experiment, like when you mix baking soda and vinegar in a test tube and then put a cork in the test tube and the mixture bubbles up and forces the cork to shoot across the room and hit your little sister in the forehead. That's real science, and not only can it be useful for making electric skateboards and curing cancer, but it's also absolutely hilarious when your little sister goes staggering backwards and falls into the laundry hamper, especially if you can get out of the house before your mom smacks you cross-eyed, as you obviously deserve. But the science the March for Science marchers are marching for is not that science, but science. Science is a leftist word meaning a combination of unreliable computer models and meaningless consensus used to create panic in order to shut down debate and promote socialist programs that will give more power and money to the people who use the word science to mean something other than science. For example, our best unreliable and continually mistaken computer models show that if we don't cut back at all on greenhouse gas emissions, higher temperatures could cause sea levels to rise about 2 feet over the course of the next century. This means that Al Gore would have to spend the next 9 decades moving his beach towel back from the shore at a rate of approximately 2.6 inches a year. Also, he should put on a shirt because, let's face it, the guy is blown up like a balloon. According to many science marchers, we must avert this computer model inconvenience to Al Gore by immediately raising unemployment, destroying the economy, and putting an end to fracking, which creates cleaner energy with little harm to the earth. Now, you may say, wait, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. But that makes you a science denier, a phrase meant to remind people of those who deny the Holocaust, which is exactly like the climate catastrophe, except for existing in reality. So that's why we here at the Andrew Klavan Show support the March for Science. It's a harmless activity for mentally deficient leftists that will keep them out of their homes, where they might do something dangerous, like having sex and reproducing. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is the Andrew Klavan Show.